Hey there, Squirrel Army! For today, we are having another look at the two-faced legends of the new Wilds of Eldraine commander decks. This is for the Virtue and Valor commander deck. You can join the Squirrel Army by subscribing. Alright, so first we've got Elarive, and this one's all about, both of these are about giving out auras. This one gives out the Valorous Roll, and Valorous Roll gives enchanted creature +1/+1 and ward 1. So whenever she enters or attacks, she puts that onto a creature, and I can't see that anywhere that there's any way you can't stack these multiply up on other creatures. You can't put it on her, which is a bit sad. But still, okay, we can give some protection to our other creatures and a bit of a buff. That's okay. So then, when an enchanted creature we control deals combat damage to player, we draw cards. You know, that's pretty alright too. So that is another thing to suggest that we go wide as well. I always find that enchantments, or, well, not enchantments, but auras are very, very bad for the most part, because there's just none that really stick around. As soon as your creature's gone, they're all gone, and you basically never get them back. And even if you do, it's just completely irrelevant. There's like 2 or 3 that are really good, like Rancor and Spoon, because they return pretty easily, and things like that. So, yeah, they usually aren't that amazing, but at least this gives out like free auras to things, and you're not too sad to lose them to a degree, because you can just kind of pull them back or put them back out there by recasting your commander, attacking with your commander. But the problem here is also your commander isn't that amazing, and you can't do anything really to protect it with those auras, so that's pretty bad, honestly. So you have to run like equipment or aura on her to protect her. Like if she again, I always get into this with these designs. Why would you give a commander that needs to attack the same power and toughness? Like, I don't care what power this thing has, because it's not a lethal commander for a Voltron strategy. This is a go wide strategy, so there's no, and it helps other things, so there's no point in suiting this thing up just to hit people or whatever. So the only point in this is to go wide. So again, it's just like you've given it too much power and not nearly enough toughness. This thing needs to attack and needs to survive attacking a lot, so, or for it to generate the proper value that you need in the game of this deck. And having more toughness would be more relevant for this thing. It having 4 power is completely irrelevant. So if it had 2 less power and even 1 more toughness, this would be alright, I feel. Because at least then it's a little bit more difficult to get rid of in combat. Yes, and I know things can get rid of outside of combat too, but at least when you're talking about this thing having to attack to get a trigger, then I want this thing to be safe. I don't want to attack with this thing hardly ever unless it has really good evasion, and why am I suiting this up that much? Yeah. So it's just gonna sit there. So the best thing to do with it is literally flicker it. So I don't know, this is a big miss in my opinion, but whatever. I think we'll have a look at the other one. Let's just... Alright, so we've got Gillerin, Casting Director. 3 mana, 2/3. When he enters the battlefield, target creature or another non-target creature enters the battlefield. You can choose one. You can put the Royal Robe on it, you can put Sorcerer Robe on it, or you can put Monster Robe on it. Monster Robe gives +1/+1 and trample, and Sorcerer gives +1/+1, and when it attacks, scry 1. So, yeah, this is a lot better. Like, it doesn't have to attack, it just has to sit there, and, like, you just have to play other creatures around it, and it gives you more variety of effects that you can choose to give to things that you're playing naturally. So this is just miles better than the other one. Like, it's cheaper. It's mana cheaper. Like, you're not worried about having to attack with it. And you're just gonna buff up your stuff in whatever way you want. Like, by just playing them. Without having to really run many other auras because this guy will give them to him. Like, that's super good. Like, what? I don't understand why they'd make a face commander and then just be like, okay, here's a strictly better card in the 99. What? I don't understand. I know some people might like the other one, but man, it just looks really bad because it doesn't do half the things that this guy does. Gives out all the different auras just for playing stuff for free. Yeah, sure, the other one is nice in the 99 of this, just to be like, okay, your stuff hits and you draw cards, and if you actually give it an aura from this guy, then she's kind of protected or whatever. So, and then you can start giving out more auras to other things and whatnot. So, I don't know. But still, this is just way better. And I would consider running the other one as the face commander. I wouldn't really consider, as I say, running that many auras in the deck because, like I say, I'd rather just proc the commander's trigger. The other commander is just, yeah, if you can flicker it or if you can find a good way to give it really good evasion, like flying, then sure, that's okay. Or if you want a really more aggro commander that is going to die half the time. But then again, I guess you can recast it, but still, that's just way more mana to invest than what this guy will be. Yeah, he's a bigger target because he can do more and for way less investment and time and energy. But still, it's just like no contest here to me. This guy's just the the real commander. But yeah, we don't know again what the deck list will consist of. So even so, this guy's just definitely better. But it definitely could help the other commander being part of the 99 um, with more good auras if they do decide to put them in the deck. I'm wondering if they can find a way to have enchanted creatures, like enchantment creatures, but basically like living weapon. Essentially, auras that come into play and make a token that's already attached to them. Like that. So maybe, I don't know, some may say that that's too good, but even that, I don't think that's too good. I think that's just fine because you're going to have a limited number of them anyway for the most part, and they still die to removal, and the auras just go to the grave and probably never come back. So, I don't know. That doesn't seem like a problem, but you guys can always let me know what you guys think, writing your thoughts down there in the comments below. And hopefully you have enjoyed this one, and hopefully you will join me again in the next one.